What's up, SNA fans? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. This is episode 177 of the SNA podcast, and this is the Friday Night SmackDown review part 18. Yeah, but anyways, we're gonna talk about what exactly went down. There were some very amazing and exciting moments, and even surprise returns. And the wrestling news. The wrestling rumors, I should say, was true. Was speculating for the past couple of weeks. Like, with a certain phenomenal superstar has made his return, but we're going to talk about that in just a moment. And we're going to start off with the returning tribal chief Roman Reigns, like making his presence known to the Green Bay crowd, saying, "Green Bay, acknowledge me." This is where fans start booing louder. This is where he's like, "Oh, like it." I wouldn't have to say it if you guys hadn't if y'all kept it down. And then this is where you start talking about what's the problem been for the past couple weeks lately, especially one of them being Randy Orton. And he's like, "Come on, guys! Like I gotta do a little promotion because I am a very generous boss." That's what he said. Now, come on, it's Christmas spirit. Like it's the holiday season is here. I am a fair judge. I am a fair tribal chief. And when someone's doing good, we let them know. And if somebody's doing bad, we just smash on them. And that's not your thing, you know what I mean, WWE Universe? Like, so tonight is about one man that's this. He just bent over backwards. What else he said? He sacrificed everything in a match over the past year or so. And this man understands what what my family means. This man understands what it's like to keep this family at the top of the mountain. And the fans were chanting, "What?" Like if he was Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's where he's like, they got anything to happen to me. Like, this the man's going to step up at any chance. That's next in line in the island of relevancy. He's like, "Hey, Jimmy Uso." He's like, "Yes." That's what he thought he was referring to him. Fans are booing like, "No, he's not like his brother Jay." And this is where it's like, Solo, like, you are gonna be the next tribal chief one day when that day comes. And I believe this is where Jimmy Uso kind of got jealous, like, because he thought that he was talking about him. This is where fans start chanting, "Randy, Randy." And he was like, "No, like, it's not about Randy Orton. Like, no, like, hell no." Fans started booing like to Roman for denying it. He's like, this man is gonna be responsible for the bloodline. The next tribal chief. And he's like, "Jimmy, join me." He's like, and congratulate. I was like, "Jimmy, come and join me and congratulate." Okay, be right there, Trey. Okay, SNA fans, I'm back. It's where Roman Reigns was like, "Jimmy, why don't you help me congratulate your brother, Solo Sikoa?" And he's like, "And you, Solo, like, congratulations, you're gonna be promoted as next in line of being the next tribal chief." And he's like, "I love you so much." And he gave him a hug. And this is where Roman Reigns was getting ready to continue his promo, I suppose, with, you know what I'm saying, So now you see, you guys. And then before he had a chance to finish his statement, this is where the Viper came out, like playing his music because like the wrestling rule, like what Kevin Owens and my boy Simon Miller would say, which they follow very well. Like if you say somebody's name for far too long, you're gonna say somebody's name, your colleague or your opponent's name for in the wrestling business, like way too much. Like they're gonna eventually come out there and confront you about it. And that's what Randy Orton just did. Like when he keep mentioning his name, that's where Randy Orton's like, it is where he went right on the apron. This is where, or near the apron, I should say. And this is where here Randy Orton was like he was like, what? You know what? Yeah, this is where Randy Orton said this. He was like, now I've been thinking about this moment right here. I've been thinking about what I'm gonna do. Like, and I've been thinking about like what I'm gonna say. Like, and you know what, Roman? Like, the only thing I really need to say to you, like to your face, is I want a shot at your WWE Universal Championship. He said, now I'm coming for you. He said, now I'm coming for you. And he said, you took 18 months away from me, so I'm going to take everything away from you. And then I don't care which one of your family members that I have to go through to get the job done. The fact of the matter is this, big dog, which he was still always calling that, despite him being the tribal chief. And that's the name, a nickname he haven't used in over 3 years. Yeah, which is about to be 4 years at the beginning of 2024. Yeah, because he haven't been that name since the early time of 2020. Yeah, I'm right. But anyway, yeah, this is where that starts tonight and it ends at the Royal Rumble because I am challenging you, like Roman Reigns, for the WWE Championship. And then that's where Roman Reigns like, oh, like I should have known that you also wanted my championship while trying to get the job done. Fans were repeatedly, continuously chanting Randy. And then Randy was like, yeah, like y'all already know. I came for the tribal chief for. But anyways, yeah, this is where, he's like, yeah, you already know. Like, yeah, not just because I want to get revenge and hurt the bloodline for hurting me and putting me on the shelf in kayfabe, of course, for 18 months. This is where Roman Reigns is like, like, yeah. Like, I guess I see your point, like, Randy. This is where fans were chanting RKO, which he probably never felt an RKO in over 4 years. Like since the last time they wrestled in any match, which was back in 2019 Battle Royal. But yeah, like it. That's a lot of time you got RKO by the Viper, and this is where Roman Reigns is like, but sound of the fans, like it's not like you deserve the opportunity. Fans are like yeah, like he's more than deserving for that shot as Universal Champion. He's like, but 18 months, but you've been thinking about this, Randy? And he's like, yeah, like what else I've been thinking about into this business. And this is where Roman Reigns, well, I haven't thought about you at all. I'm like, yeah, of course, because you thought y'all got the job done by handling the Randy problem. Like when y'all were still feuding with the likes of Matt Riddle and who else? Brock Lesnar at the time, 2022. But just because he got injured and he wasn't going to be back until in 2023, which it was the end of 2023, you would thought it would be the beginning, like with a Royal Rumble return. But unfortunately, they had to cancel until the beginning of, at the end of this year, which was a month ago. But I don't think about you. I was like, but you should have, but he should have thought that he, I was like, but yeah, anyway, like Roman should have thought that he, if I was Roman, I was like Roman, like, yeah, you wouldn't think about him at all, but just because you might be champion, you're going to hold that title for the next few months until Mania 40. That doesn't mean that you're. That doesn't mean you are. That doesn't mean you should be worrying about the Viper, because after all, y'all the one that took him out like back last May in 2022. And then when if he ever comes back, like he's gonna seek revenge. Like at least at this time, like for those that are still in the bloodline, which is Roman and Jimmy. That's where Randy Orton was like. Roman Reigns also added, it was like, you've been gone for 18 months with Paul Heyman and Jimmy Uso was laughing along with Roman Reigns. Like, it was like, you've been gone for 18 months. Like, you haven't done anything to earn this opportunity. I was like, that's kind of hypocritical to say, because like when you've won that title for the second run as Universal Champion, you didn't earn it either. Even though you were supposed to wrestle Goldberg like at WrestleMania. But that's like, that was just like a rewarding opportunity. But perhaps you should have waited until you get a number one contenders match, even though it was more than enough perfect for you to win the WWE Universal Championship. It's been on hold, and then you were going to earn yourself that opportunity. You're going to get that opportunity as soon as you get back, which I think that's kind of understandable, but that's kind of hypocritical saying like. But in a way, that's a hypocrite, like because Randy Orton was more than enough deserving of a WWE title shot. Like for the fact he won most of his matches, except for that last match against Usos when he teamed with Matt Riddle for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Like the last time he was in WWE when he had to go away for like a year and a half. But I was like, yeah, but that's 2 + 2 = potatoes of the night for him saying because he's been gone for 18 months. And he's like. And then this was like they're like, if it's, and for that being for that long, you should you and your opportunities can go back in the line where you belong. I'm like, where he belongs. Like I was like, how he could be number one? We're being the number one guy that was beating like likes of like Dominic Mysterio and Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa and Dominic Mysterio, and even beat the whole entire Judgment Day faction, and along with Drew McIntyre at the War Games. But even though that doesn't count to being like a number one contender, but you get the point. Like he's been winning all his matches since he's been back, and then before even specifically challenged for Roman's title. Like so, how he's should be back in the line. This is where Randy Orton was like, he thought listening to fans. This is where he did not hear whatever Roman Reigns had to say, because he's just like his cousin Jey Uso. He does not give a damn what the tribal chief says. And this is where they turned around and tried to hit an RKO after he was reacting with the fans. And then this is where Roman Reigns missed it by a second, because I think he was partly prepared for that, like because he knows Randy Orton could do it at any time, any moment. So he took a chance, and considering he was like 2 feet away from him, so he pushed away right after he grabbed him around the neck and tried to go for the RKO. But he turned around. It's like, I know, like not this time. And Randy Orton's like, yeah, like I said, like anytime, any place, anywhere. And this is where Randy Orton was like, remember what you said about you have been thinking about me, man? Like maybe you should start thinking about me right now. And he's like, and my voices are saying that. Now hold on, like the voices that you tell me that I hear, hear and say that it's like in my idiotic head, like what you said, why don't you tell your voices in your head, that you do not have any chance of beating me for the Universal Championship. I forgot to tell that. My apologies. I was you're the one talking, says to who that's the guy that always says acknowledge you, the one that says to acknowledge you, and your violent infested weasel Solo has no brains, only just his thumb, just depend on for his statements. But anyways, this is where Randy was like, my voice is like in my idiotic head that you said there is like it's saying that you like it tells me to inform you that you crapped on yourself like when you nearly took that RKO. Like he might just crap yourself in your pants. And this is where Roman Reigns is like, as if not. This is where he started rubbing the back of his pants on his backside. This is where Randy Orton's like, they also tell me like I hit you with this, like that lets you know to remind you that Daddy's back. And then this is where he walked out of there, like letting them know that he's ready for him, like for this future WWE Championship match, which I believe Roman Reigns should make more appearances more often to build up to this this future match at the Royal Rumble. Which it's gonna be a guaranteed. It's definitely gonna be Randy Orton because he challenged him, and then they're starting to make it more confirmed like. So expect at least the Viper going to face the Tribal Chief in January 27th to be the exact date of 2024's annual Royal Rumble event. But who thinks he'll walk out is the undisputed WWE Universal Champion? Let me know down in the comments below. Which you say is obviously going to be Roman Reigns because he's going to hold that title until at least WrestleMania 40. And it's on like a Cody Rhodes or even CM Punk, which I'm not sure if it will be CM Punk. I think it's going to be the obvious pick. He's going even if he did win the Royal Rumble, it'll be Seth Rollins. I'll say whether if it's him or Damian Priest, or because considering he's the senior's Money in the Bank briefcase, which I don't think that's going to happen. Or anybody anybody can face Roman Reigns, but my set's on Cody's for him at WrestleMania, and then we're gonna see a feud that's gonna start at a Backlash with Randy Orton and him for the undisputed title, which they're gonna be talking about so many history about like when they used to team. Randy Orton was this championship, and he was the ringleader of their legacy faction. But let's move on to the next Let's move on to the next shifting gears onto Grayson Waller's match against Carmelo Hayes in the tournament. Who's going to face either Kevin Owens or Austin Theory who's going to be the number one contender for the United States Championship against Logan Paul at the beginning of 2024, which we're going to figure that out between by then or the last Friday on SmackDown before the new year, of course. But let's talk about Grayson Waller taking on Carmelo Hayes as he makes his in-ring debut with Grayson Waller Irish whipping Carmelo Hayes right onto the turnbuckle. This is where he had him right on his knees, like into the corner. This is where he hits a upper hook to the midsection. Oh yeah, no, he didn't Irish whipped him into the turnbuckle. He hit him with a striking, nailing right fist right into the face of Carmelo Hayes that sent him right to the upper right corner of near the turnbuckles. But anyway, this is where Grayson Waller started hitting a single axe handle right into the back of Carmelo Hayes when he was hanging right on the bottom right corner of Tina the turnbuckle. He tried to hit another strike, but Carmelo Hayes hits a chop right into the chest. Getting ready for Gunther, even though he's not on Raw, at least not yet, which I believe he could be on Raw or SmackDown. Like considering this performance is drawing attention from the WWE management on he could be more than ready. Like as soon as he get that call up, and I don't think he's gonna be called up to like it's not a proper call up because he still has some NXT work to need to do. Because he still has to finish the story with him and his boy Trick Williams over to NXT on who attacked him. Was it him or was it Ilya Dragunov or some other mystery or somebody else that's a mystery and that loves attacking people backstage, like Blair Davenport when she attacked Nikita Lyons, Sol Ruka, and Wendy Chu, of course. But enough about talking just about that. But anyway, we're gonna continue talking about with Carmelo Hayes ramming him with the shoulder right in the midsection. He ran right and went to the other side, which was the top, which was in the top right corner. This is where he hits him with another nasty chop. Getting ready for him to unify the Intercontinental Championship with the United States Championship with Gunther, which Gunther don't have to put them on the envy list because they're basically colleagues, like technically I should say, more like rather than basically, because you're not sure about calling NXT a roster. Most people don't recall, but it's the developmental roster. That's what I would call it. But this is where he hits another knife fist chop, waiting for him to be United States champion so he can unify the United States and the IC title into a unification mid-card champion, which I hope that doesn't happen. It's just a joke. Because for the fact that he's knife edge chopping Grayson Waller. But anyway, this is where Carmelo Hayes Irish whips Grayson Irish whip Grayson Waller on the right hand corner from the left hand corner. This is where Grayson Waller kicks Carmelo right into the gut. This is where he tries to go for a suplex right onto Carmelo Hayes, but he counters it into a small package. This is where the referee counts the one. Referee counts only the 1.999, I should say, until both men got back up after Waller's kick out. He hits a back leg heel kick right into the head. This is where Grayson Waller then will take a little breather while picking Carmelo Hayes back up, put him in a right knee right into the head of Carmelo Hayes. This is where he Irish whips Carmelo Hayes right into the lower right corner of Tina the Timber. This is where Grayson Waller tried to grab onto the legs of Carmelo Hayes. We picks him up, hits a Hurricane Rana right onto the Aussie Icon. This is where he tried to go for the splash right onto to Grayson Waller, but he puts his legs up. He grabs onto his legs. This is where he puts him right into the corner in the turn on the ropes. This is where he hits a step up instigiri right onto the head of Grayson Waller. This is where he hits a springboard leg drop with him wedged right onto the middle ropes and the top rope, leg dropping him down to the canvas. This is where Grayson Waller rolls out of the ring. This is where Carmelo Hayes like, let's get up, people. Like, this is what I'm talking about. And this is where the eyes were on. He was keeping his eyes on the prize. This is where he runs right to this is where he slides right down. This is where Grayson Waller ducks right here. This is where Grayson Waller tried to go for a clothesline, trying to outsmart Carmelo Hayes, but he expect that, and he outsmarted him better than he was trying to do. He ducks out of his clothesline, runs back in the ring from the left-hand corner of the ringside area. This is where he tried to run and do a splash, but this is where, or he knew that it was going to follow him in, so he hit the springboard cross clothesline, I should say, which I'm not sure if it's the ultimate comeback, but it was more like an ultimate genius move, I should say, in all of sports entertainment / pro wrestling. This is where Carmelo Hayes like, yeah, let's go. Like, that's why they say I never miss. This is where he clotheslines Grayson Waller out of the ring. This is where Carmelo Hayes like that's right in my face. Yeah, I'm him. Like, I'm him. Right on the camera. And this is where he went right into the outside. This is where he brings him back in the ring. This is where he had him right to the lower right corner, the lower left. It was the lower left corner. This is where he flips him over to a snapmare, hits a bicycle kick. This is where Carmelo Hayes hits a spinning flying head scissor face buster right onto Grayson Waller. And this is where Carmelo Hayes goes for a pin. This is where Grayson Waller kicks out at 2.8. Which Carmelo Hayes is like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, how can he kicks out? And then this is like, okay, like go back on square root. Like, I'm just gonna go to the middle rope. This is where Carmelo Hayes trying to This is where Carmelo Hayes got tripped over by Grayson Waller. When Grayson Waller grabs on Carmelo Hayes' his leg, slam him back first right on the top turnbuckle. He lands face first right onto the canvas. This is where Grayson Waller then goes up on the very same middle ropes that Carmelo Hayes was just on the upper right corner, I believe. This is where Grayson Waller then put his head right on his head. This is where Grayson Waller tried to go go for a move that's similar to like the playmaker, but he went right on the top rope. This is where he slammed. This is where he did a front flip though. He did a front flip while he did the maneuver where he hits head first right to the canvas. I was like, I don't know what he's referring to. Like the fact that he could possibly team with MVP with Omos is a new version of the Hurt Business, or like on My Career mode, like where it was Omos and Carmelo Hayes as the team with MVP as their manager, and along with what's their names too, the Street Profits, which we could see them and Bobby Lashley team into a unit, like a quintet, I should say. Even though I'll say a sixlet, I believe. No, it'll be I'll say a sixlet. But anyways, huh? Outside. No, Trey. You like Uncle SNA's doing his podcast. Maybe later on, okay? Trey, you. Okay, I'll put that on for you just a moment. But anyway, I was like, but yeah, I didn't know what was different. It wasn't Carmelo, like him, like he could team up, or his real life girlfriend Kalani Jordan have a similar move like that. But before I continue, I'm gonna take my nephew to his bed so he can watch his little program. I'll be right back. Okay, Trey, I'm Okay, SNA fans, I'm back. But anyway, this is where Grayson Waller then try to go for a pinfall to try to score a victory. They'll move on to either face his best friend or his arch rival, which is Austin Theory or Kevin Owens, into the semifinals. But when the referee counted to one, referee counted to two, Carmelo Hayes kicks out at 2.7 seconds, which was very unbelievable. Like because you thought he would never get off from a move like that. But even for being a rookie for 2 years, that doesn't mean you should underestimate on what's possible for the young guy. Like, it depends on what's his stats of his abilities, which he showed that even if he got hit with a pile driver, which is the banned move from WWE, he would still be okay. Like at least like 1,000, like at least or 100% okay. Like after taking such a harsh maneuver like that. But this is where Grayson Waller tried to. This is where Grayson Waller went for the flying head scissors. This is where Carmelo Hayes flips out of it into like a roll up, like a little wheelbarrow roll up, which is kind of the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the surprise roll up. This is where he hits a super kick right on the Grayson Waller after he kicked out of it by two. This is where Carmelo Hayes hit the springboard tornado DDT, more like a tornado lift DDT, like because he jumped springboard right off and it caught on him before DDT with Grayson Waller being in a backwards position, of course. This is where Carmelo Hayes tried to go for a pin, but referee count one, count two. Waller kicks out at 2.9. This is where Carmelo Hayes like, what it takes to bring this arrogant Aussie down. Like I remember wrestling him for the past 2 years. Like and I know he's not easy to beat. Like, but still, like I need to remember what. This is where he hits the first 48 face breaker right onto him, which I believe that was a great idea because I could put him in a position of doing this finishing maneuver, the same maneuver he don't miss. This is where he hits the move, the prove it statement, like, and I was like the only person he missed on was none other than Ilya Dragunov when he lost the title. But enough about the negatives, but back to the positive for Carmelo Hayes' sake. This is where he Oh, I forgot to say, like Grayson Waller tried to go for the rolling stunner. Then he hit the face breaker. Then he hit the nothing but neck leg drop right onto Grayson Waller. Got the pin with the 1-2-3. He scores himself into the right side of the semifinals of this tournament invitational tournament number one contenders match for Logan Paul's United States Championship, which I believe Kevin Owens still the favorite, but it has me thinking like it will be Carmelo Hayes or Bobby Lashley. It could be either of these men. Like it's only a matter of time who it is. And what's your thoughts about that? Who do you think it is? Do you think it's Carmelo Hayes? Do you think Carmelo Hayes, Kevin Owens, or Bobby Lashley going to be the true winner of the tournament? Let me know down in the comments below. We're going to move on to the next match. But before we do get to the next match, this is where we got Randy Orton backstage with LA Knight next. Like, when he was like, man, there he is, Mr. LA. And this is where he's like, yeah, it's about that time. Like, and I saw what you said about that challenge that you want against Roman Reigns, and he started chuckling like, like yeah, like that was good, like that's good. But check it out, like just like he's like out there, like I thought, like you might need some backup right here. And this is where Randy Orton's like, yeah, that was very helpful and handy dandy, like, but that was last week. But this week and for the rest of the weeks, I don't need your help, Mr. Knight. Like we just met each other like a week ago. Like and this is where LA Knight's like, I'm not saying you're looking for my help, like let alone needing my help at all. Like but we know like how this number games become. Like if we do this on our own, like it won't be a guarantee that we have them right where we want them. Like so we need to. And he was like, and if you haven't signed that contract to SmackDown, I wouldn't even save you there. Like, but there's nothing wrong with that. You just know how those numbers work when it comes to this brand. He's like, and Randy was like, I know we just met last week, but I know we good. Like, right? We pick up like in the right night, like this is where LA Knight's like, yeah. And then this is where Randy Orton's like, we picked up the win against the minions of the bloodline, which is Jimmy and Solo, of course. He was like, and then Jimmy is like, and with Jimmy, with the Jimmy thing, you try to go for a BFT, but I turned him around and RKO, give you not much trouble because you already helped me out with Solo Sikoa. We're good. Right. And this is where LA Knight's like, yeah. And this is where Randy Orton's like, all right, well, so let's keep it that way so we're going to have to stay. So you have to stay out of my way, LA Knight. And this is where LA Knight's like, look, I'm not going to be in your way. And here's the thing, Randy. Like, you worry about Roman Reigns, you worry about the bloodline. You're looking at the same man who wants to do the same right now. And then and he's like, and this is the man that's not going to stay no further distance away from Roman Reigns, and that man is L.A. Knight. And the fans saw this on the Titantron chanting "yeah" and chants in the background. Of course they do, because every time he's on television, you're going to be hearing him from either the wrestlers or the fans start chanting "yeah" when he says the kids. And this was like, yeah. And he walked away, like, after having that conversation with the Viper. This is where Ray was like, like, perhaps he has a point, but I hope he's not thinking of what I'm thinking right now. Like, even though he might deserve it, because, like, technically he got screwed as well by the bloodline. Like, but he actually had the championship. But let's hope for now I'm the only one that's going to be trying to fight for that championship. But this is where Kevin Owens came out there. Finally for the match against Austin Theory, and this match never gets old. It always reminds me of that time when I went to my first ever WWE live event house show, like at which was Sunday Night Stunner back in last October in 2022. But because like this was my first ever, of course, so of course I'm gonna remember that match particular along with the others, like the matches, like which I believe it was a count of how many matches. And then it was like 8 matches on the card, like on that night. But But we're gonna continue gonna talk about this one. Like, yeah, it didn't disappoint. Like, this was perhaps the second match of the night, if not the third match of the night, for the fact that Grayson Waller and the Carmelo Hayes match definitely stole the show. So I would say I would give it second match, or even I could tie this as two of the matches that goes into second place for the fact that this is the tournament matches. I'll say this is the first time I'll give two matches tied with the second place as the match of the night, of course. So I'll say second match of the night, because the main event's the number one match of the night. Along after the match, like, it was like some surprises and more excitement on what's next for this main event feud. But anyways, this is where we got starting off with Kevin Owens and Grayson Waller. This is where Austin Theory and Kevin Owens, I should say. Where this is where he started messing with that arm, started beating the hand of Kevin Owens. This is where Kevin Owens is like, you want to mess with my hand? I'm going to use it for my advantage. And then this is where he hits him with the most devastating move in all the sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up. But unfortunately, Austin Theory kicked out at one even. This is where he kicks Kevin Owens right into the midsection. This is where he hits a right knuckle punch right to Kevin Owens' face until he leaned on the top right corner. He hits a knife edge chop, a nasty one. This is where he started hitting left hands right to the head of Kevin Owens. This is where he started winning left, rights. And this is where he threw him from the top corner ropes, or Irish whip him, I should say. This is where Kevin Owens counters and whipped him instead. This is where Kevin Owens hits a running elbow when he was running his way. This is where he hits a running senton right onto the midsection of Austin Theory. This is where he got back on his feet with Grayson Waller. I'm not Grayson. I'm calling Austin Theory Grayson Waller. His tag team's getting me all confused. But that's not bad. I'm saying I should know these guys' name, because I watch them every single week, and even when they were on NXT as well. But anyway, in their separate runs, respectively, of course. But this is where Austin Theory went right on to the upper left corner, hanging on to the turnbuckle. This is where Kevin Owens was it's time to do a signature move, which is the cannonball. But unfortunately, Austin Theory rolled out of the ring like the typical cowardly heel would do. This is where Kevin Owens was like, really? Did he just really roll out of the ring like that? You know what? Forget it. If he wants to get a count out loss, I won't mind it, but I still want to beat the absolute daylights out of him because I just don't like him. At least in kayfabe, in their characters respectively as babyface and heels, and that side of things, of course. I'm not sure about their reality life, but on the show they don't have no love for each other. Obviously, Austin and Kevin in this point. But anyways, this is where Austin Theory tried to get back up. This is where Kevin Owens tried to grab onto Austin Theory when he tried to get up onto the apron, but he hurried up and got on. And then this is where he hits a striking left hand right onto Kevin Owens. This is where he tried to go for a suplex right off the hardest part of the ring apron. So hard to the point that it's harder than my nephew's Blippy steering wheel remote control, of course. That's what it is. Blippy remote control steering wheel. See? But anyway, this is where he goes for a suplex. This is where Kevin Owens was. This is where Kevin Owens goes for. This is where Kevin Owens counters it. Hits a right hand right to the head. This is where he hits a big boot right to the face. This is where he goes for a cannonball right off the apron, which landed right onto the concrete floor. This is where Kevin Owens was like, yeah, that's right. And then this is where he throws Kevin Owens back in the ring. This is where he gets up right on the top rope into the lower right, I believe. This is where he tried to go for the Swanton Bomb, but this is where Austin Theory rolls out of the ring. This is where Kevin Owens grabs his Like, not only like, oh no, you don't, not this time. This is where I try to grab him to throw him back in the ring. This is where he gets hot shotted by the Mr. A Town man, or whatever you want to call it, the former United States champion. He hot shot him right to the right corner ropes. This is where Austin Theory rolls into the ring and hits a like a springboard roll middle drop kick right into the face of Owens. This is where he rolled out of the ring. This is where he tried to get up onto the bottom corner apron. This is where Austin Theory tried to go for a suplex, like that sideways suplex brainbuster maneuver you always do. And this time it was kind of a guarantee because it's technically a suplex, but more of a brainbuster, like a sideways Fisher buster than a normal typical suplex that you would normally do, because he slammed him right onto the apron when he put his legs like across from his other leg and landed him back first, right into the hardest part of the ring apron. More harder than also with my nephew's baseball bat, like this. See what I mean? But anyways, this is where Austin Theory start doing some damages to the poor prize fighter, like right into the ringside area, especially in the bottom corner. This is where he finally throws him back in the ring. This is where he then tried to go for what move was it? First he tried to go for trying to target that broken hand again, but Kevin Owens counters him, hitting him and slam him down to the mat or canvas, whatever you want to call it. This is where he goes right on the top rope, trying to get some guaranteed do the Swanton Bomb, his other signature move. Like, this is where he tried to go for the maneuver, which this time, Austin Theory was still into the target, but unfortunately, Austin Theory put his knees up right onto the back of the prize fighter. This is where Austin Theory goes for the pin, but the referee counted the one, referee counted the two, but this is where Owens put the shoulder up right at 2.9, like letting them know that he only just did some damages like with the knee onto the back and not do some finishing business finishing damages. I say not business. I'm thinking of Roman Reigns right now. My apologies. Like finishing. He's been doing his finishing. Like by doing his finishing maneuver to finish the job onto the arch rival of one of his arch rivals, of course, in WWE. And he's like, you're not gonna beat me. Like, you're insane. Like, you're not gonna do anything, Kevin. Like, try to do something. This is where he starts shoving him right to the head. This is where he starts hitting left hands repeatedly. This is where you try to run right onto. This is where he try to run right from the left corner side ropes. This is where he try to go for an attack clothesline. This is where Kevin Owens hits a big boot right into the face of Austin Theory. This is where Kevin Owens start hitting right hands after Austin Theory tried to go hit a right hand onto him, but he blocked it. Hits right hands repeatedly right onto Austin Theory. This is where he started hitting left hands like if he was about to do the Dusty Punch, but except without the bionic elbow drop, I should say. Yeah. And this is where it started, boom, boom. And this is where Grayson Waller was hitting, bouncing. His head was bouncing right off his fist. This is where he hit a knife edge chop, which he don't have to worry about Gunther, because if he wants a piece of him, he can fight him. We can see big man slapping man meat all day long. And yeah, I was like, hopefully I don't get criticized by saying like giving the WWE wrestlers credit, like without them shaming them, and also saying that Gunther added them on the envy list. Well, he don't really need to when it comes to wrestlers like these, like that we could see in dream matches, like which Kevin Owens could beat him down because he beaten guys double times his size before, so he don't have nothing to worry about. Like if he wants to murk him, he knows where to find him. Even though Nick Aldis don't want any Raw wrestlers unless they were invited into SmackDown, into some kind of a brand invitation kind of match, I should say. This is where Kevin Owens starts stepping onto the midsection of Austin Theory repeatedly, like boom, 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 boom. All right, what are you gonna do about it, Mr. A-Town? Like, what are you gonna do about it? And this is where Kevin Owens Irish whips Austin Theory from the right hand side ropes to the right, from the right hand side to the left hand side. This is where he ducks down. Like, I think he did way too soon, because that's easy enough to reverse from, and that's what Kevin Owens did, so, which was very logical, because he just kicked him right to the head. Like, there was no point of doing it. This is where Grayson Waller, not Grayson, Austin Theory tried to go for a clothesline. Kevin Owens ducks out of the way, goes to the right hand corner. It's a huge shoulder block, like if he was John Cena, which I'm not sure if that's paying tribute to the 16-time world champion and 5-time United States champion, but it looked very deadly similar to his. And then this is where Austin Theory gets back up. This is where he tried to run right towards and a charge at Kevin Owens, which he didn't know what he was doing, but he just charged. This is where he hits a running DDT. Excuse me for a second. Okay, everything's good. Okay, Uncle SNA is back. Well, I'm not talking about my nephew right now. My apologies. Your host of the SNA podcast is back, Super Ninja Austin. This is where Kevin Owens hits the running DDT like if he was Jake the Snake Roberts or Tommy Dreamer. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but Jessica Card counted to 1, counted to 2, but he kicks out at 2.9999999 double triple nines, which is negative, which leads to a -1 away from being 3. Here's where Kevin Owens was like, my hand hurts like sugar honey iced tea right now. Like, I could barely feel it, and then every time I hit it, it's like punching a snowman's head, because it's gonna have some shooting pain shooting in the inside of my hand. And then this is where Kevin Owens was like, but that's not gonna stop me from hitting my now secondary finisher maneuver, which was he was trying to hit the pop-up power bomb like he normally would do. That's what he tried to go for the maneuver, but his hand distracted him. He was like, my hand, like, ow, like I cannot even do the pop-up power bomb without it interfering in my nerve system. This is where he's like, but it can't stop me from doing this. Like when Austin Theory tried to go for a clothesline, he like hits a super kick, because none of his feet are in a injury kind of like state, I should say. This is where Kevin Owens go for a pinfall, but he only got a 2.8 count. This is where Austin Theory goes right onto the bottom corner ropes, into the bottom turnbuckle, I should say, in the bottom right corner, I should say. And where Kevin Owens tried to go for a cannonball. This is where Austin Theory move out of the way, hit the knee right to the back, which I'm not sure. This means Kevin Owens was double cursed. Let's hope not. But this is where Kevin Owens went face first right onto the Austin Theory's knees. I need to stop saying Grayson Waller, because Grayson Waller already wrestled. It was against Carmelo Hayes. But this is where he was in the upper left-hand corner. This is where he tried to charge at Kevin Owens, but he hit a right boot right to the Austin Theory's face. This is where Kevin Owens went right into the middle rope. This is where he hits a top rope dipping Spanish fly maneuver right off the top rope. This is where he did so. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but he only got a 2.9999999 double triple nines, like -0.1 away from being 3. But I gotta admit, that was very incredibly impressive. Like what Corey Graves and Michael Cole was complimenting from Austin Theory. I was like, even for being a fan-hating heel, like you gotta admit, he did an amazing job by executing the move. Like either way, regardlessly, that was very incredible. Like, how did Austin Theory hit such a maneuver like that? Like it was very amazing. I gotta admit, like Like he did a really great job, I should say, like by hitting the maneuver perfectly, like more perfectly than any luchador or any other wrestler that did the maneuver, whether if they're in AEW, WWE, New Japan Pro Wrestling, or AAA, or wherever promotion it could be. Like he did a most outstanding job. This is where Austin Theory was like, all right, it's time for A-Town down. And then this is where he tried to go for the A-Town down, which there was no chance that he was doing so. This is where Kevin Owens was hanging on to his head, like into a guillotine kind of position. This is where Austin Theory put him right on the top rope because he wasn't budging. This is where he started hitting left hands right to the head of Kevin Owens. This is where he tried to go for a suplex off the top, but Kevin Owens countered by hitting punches to the gut. Grab onto his legs, especially his left leg particular. This is where he hits a spinning like corkscrew, like a reverse corkscrew, Fisherplex, like right off the top or mid rope, I should say, like slamming him down right into the ring mat. This is where he tried to go for a pinfall, but I believe he only got a 2.99999 double triple nines, negative 0.1 away from being 3. But this is where he got before he could do anything, another move like a stunner, perhaps. This is where Austin Theory rolls out of the ring. This is where he followed him out there into the bottom corner of the ringside area. This is where he tried to toss him right onto a face first, right into Rita the ring post into the bottom right. But this is where Grayson. I'm so good. Sorry, guys. I'm keep calling Austin Theory Grayson Waller, and he's not Grayson Waller. Super Ninja Austin, stop it. But this is where Austin Theory, glad I got that right, and he hit him face first right into Rita the ring post, picks him up, puts him right over his growing right onto the bottom right top part of the of Barry Barricade, disrespecting the grave of Barry, because of course he would, because he's a heel, and heels usually do stuff that are more likely disrespectful. Luckily, it's not a wrestler's on a wrestler's grave, because he will have so much controversy, even though he was just playing the character and not being his reality self. That still have plenty of controversy of that what WWE would receive if they did so. So do it on something that's more like an inanimate wrestling object rather than a real human being, especially if they were a wrestler. Like, for an example, like an Eddie Guerrero or I won't say Benoit, no, Benoit. I would say or Bray Wyatt. I would say Bray Wyatt, perhaps. Like, it's not like they're doing it in his grave, like his grave, because he sadly passed away. And with these names, I would say rest in peace to all of them, sending my condolences by mentioning their names on my SNA podcast. But anyways, this is where he hits him right into the. This is where Austin Theory's going to get an easy count-out victory, but Kevin Owens was still crawling. Even at the count of 7, he was halfway there. This is where Kevin Owens started getting up, using the announce table as a getting up support kind of thing, like so he can get back in the ring, which he did so. This is where Austin Theory he hit the thunderous right strike forearm right to the jaw of Owens. This is where he runs right up into the left corner turnbuckle, hits a rolling, swinging neck breaker majig. This is where he goes for the pin onto Kevin Owens, but he only got a 1-2 which was, I'll say, a 2.999999999, double triple nine, 0.1 away from being 3. And before I finish, I want to check on something real fast. What are you doing? You make it slow, Angel. Better keep it that way. We do not keep kicking. Yeah. I see. That's cute. Uncle SNA will be right back. But anyways, we're gonna keep talking about Austin Theory was like, oh man, like why did he kick out? Like that That move like hardly gets kicked out. This is where he got him right to the lower right corner. Oh, Uncle SNA loves you too. This is where Austin Theory picks up Kevin Owens, put him right lower right corner of the top rope. This is where he started hitting right hands right to the head. This is where he tried to go for a suplex, but this is where Kevin Owens rolled out of it under Austin Theory's legs, pushes him right right into the family jewels first, right into the inner side of Rita the ring post, hitting hard and right onto the turnbuckle support beams, I should say the turnbuckle beams, right over his family jewels. This is where the third time was kind of a charm. I think he only got a two-leaf clover, which two of the other two was clipped because he hits a cannonball right onto Austin Theory, right on Austin Theory into the tree of woe position though. Even though he wasn't in the bottom, he wasn't sitting down in the bottom turnbuckle, but he was like into the on the turnbuckle, so that technically counts. So I would say he only got like a two-leaf clover to make them third time the charm. Exactly. What you got? Oh yeah, you got Batman. Okay. But anyways, this is where Kevin Owens did the crotch chalk suck it kind of hand maneuver right before he did so, but he hit him right to the midsection. This is where KO went right on the top rope. This is where he was about to hit the Swanton Bomb, which did successfully executed because he tried to go for a second time, and that wasn't guaranteed. I guess even for being a two-leaf clover, it worked because it helped him benefit off of hitting the Swanton, the second signature move that he has failed to do the first time because Austin Theory countered it with the knees up. But this time he hits it. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but unfortunately, Austin Theory kicks out at 2.999999999 double triple nine, 0.1 away from being 3. But yeah, I'm glad he was no longer double cursed from trying to hit the cannonball. This is where he hit, but this is where he got both of them got back up, tried to go for a stunner, I believe, and I think he got the maneuver right. No, it didn't. No, it wasn't a stunner. This is where he nearly hit the stunner, but this is where he also grabbed onto Kevin Owens' right hand, which was the bad hand that's injured, like for his advantage, trying to bend it back, trying to harden. And this is where he kicks. This is where he kicked. This is where he punted it right on the under, like onto the under part of his hand, like where he grabbed on it and started squeezing it, started hitting it, trying to break it. This is where Kevin Owens like, my hand, like not again. This is where he whacked it and he slammed it right onto the upper right hand corner of the turnbuckle, or the post, I should say. This is where he slammed it right onto the symbol of the steel steps. And I wonder what this boy's doing right now. Okay. I can't burn birds. I gotta continue doing my podcast. But anyways, my apologies. This is where he put Kevin Owens' hand right onto the steel steps. This is where he tried to stomp on it, but he's still kicking on it. This is where he finally stopped dawdling around, saying like, "This is what you deserve again." And this is where he stomped on it right on the symbol of the steel steps hard. Kevin Owens like, my hand. No, why would he do this? And this is where Austin Theory trying to completely break it off. This is where Kevin Owens was like, no, not this time. This is where he shoved him right off. He hits a big KO punch that will probably make Paul White, aka the Big Show, proud, right into his jaw, like knocking his ass out, like he did when he had a big right hand with a broken fist, or I should say. Like, well, I'm not sure if it's real or kayfabe, but he knocked him out right in the middle of the canvas. Like, this is where he got the 1, 2, 3 after he hit such a brutal knockout. Like the merge his fourth spot into the semifinal. Which he's going to take on Carmelo Hayes, while Santos Escobar will face Bobby Lashley, which I think Bobby Lashley will win. I think it'll be thanks to distractions with either Dragon Lee or Rey Mysterio himself. But we're gonna see next week on Friday Night SmackDown. Like when it's the week, when it's like the second last week of being 2023, of course, which will be December 18th. Make sure y'all stay tuned and check out that for those who want to, of course, and also the SNA podcast afterwards. This is where we got some conversation with the Bloodline backstage. He was like, anything, like in no circumstances, do not let Orton win. To give him a reason why and prove his point that he should get an opportunity against me. Like, Jimmy Uso's like, yeet. Like, you got this, boss, and yeet. And this is where Roman Reigns is like, how many times do I have to tell you? And I told you about 1,000 times. Even though it's back, and I know that you want to have a word just like your brother. Like, luckily I need you to face Randy Orton and take care of him. Otherwise, I will basically have your head. I'll have your head hanging onto my wall right now, which I don't think you really would do because that is against the law, even for such a crazy show like WWE. Like, that doesn't mean like they should have a rights to do that. Even if they signed a waiver, because that's against the law genuinely. And this is where he stared at him, looked like he's about to take him to the executioner room. And then this is where Jimmy's like, oh yeah, that's right. Like, don't kill me, cuz like no yeet. Well, I would say yeet, kill, because I'm not sure if I should say that even in a metaphoric statement. But he was like, yeah, no yeet, cuz like, yeah, don't like, yeah, we're all cool here. Like, no yeet. This is where Roman Reigns is like, yeah, your job is all yours. Like, make sure you do the job and fully do it. Except it's not a tag team match. This is a one-on-one match. Make sure his back is completely done for, and that he can never wrestle, like not even for another decade. Which I don't think that's going to be the case, and that's going to be no longer necessary. And even if the next time he does be injured, it'll probably be half of the years. I'm not half the year. I mean, it'd be half of the months, I should say. I would say it would be more like a 3/4 of a half a year, I should say. 3/4 of a half a year. Like, even if he does have the next biggest injury, because this has been his biggest injury as he received from his 21-year career overall, which luckily he finally came back. He getting the opportunity of a lifetime of facing the tribal chief. And it looks like he's having the opportunity to facing winning not only this match, but he could beat Roman Reigns, which I'm not sure if that will be the case. But I'm not ruling out if he's going to be undisputed champion. I think he will. He's going to receive his 15th reign. I think he'll probably, even if it's a short one, he's going to receive his 15th reign in 2024. And he's going to receive 5 more of those, like Reigns is either WWE champion or World Heavyweight champion, or a mixture of both in their half respective runs. Which I think he has like at least 6 more reigns, like in a future reigns, I should say, in the next decade. And we soonly start winning those championship reigns and making it to that point. But I think he'll make it to 17 by half of his 10 more remaining years of his career. But anyway, this is where Karrion Kross came in with a vignette saying, like, the things I recycled, from me, in my first run in here in WWE. But now I'm back. And everything I said came into motion, even though I have yet to get that opportunity. And I've yet to get that opportunity, and then I'm still gonna, and that's not gonna stop me of getting what I want, no matter who could be. And now we are at the threshold, like, of a new beginning, if you know what I mean. Like, everything is about to crumble down. And And have you seen it yet, guys? And he starts smiling with his eyes nearly rolling in the back of his head, thinking he's the Undertaker, which I don't think the Undertaker has been this sinister, even as the Ministry of Darkness. But I think but the good thing is that he's finally going to be pushed of being in an angle, which we don't know what that angle is going to be. I mean, it could be against Bobby Lashley, considering he beat him in the tournament, and he probably wants some revenge onto the Almighty. And even if Santos Escobar does win, expect it to be Karrion Kross getting into the way for being in the way of Bobby Lashley winning the tournament. Like he was like, if I don't win win this championship tournament, neither is you. Well, I think it won't be likely that it will be this Friday, or I mean next Friday. I mean not this coming Friday. I should say next Friday, perhaps. I would say at the finals, whether if Bobby Lashley faces either Carmelo Hayes or Kevin Owens. Now it comes to think of it, like Karrion Kross could be in the program and maybe even be like the biggest heel in the mid card division in WWE right now. Like with him like facing Bobby Lashley, he could benefit off this and be if Bobby Lashley going back as a baby face, like which they made it seem like that when he faced the likes of Karrion Kross, and then now they're gonna prove that point by showing that he's when he faces Santos Escobar. And the way I see this, I think Bobby Lashley will beat him, and it'll be thanks to Rey Mysterio distracting the former member of the former leader of the LWO, of course, yeah. But this is where Karrion Kross was like, and now I am going to set my eyes on whoever that's the obstacle of my journey of being WWE champion. TikTok. But I'm glad that I see him. That he's getting TV time, even if it's a vignette, only a vignette of this week's episode of SmackDown. But let's hope we have some potential future plans for the former NXT champion in the foreseeable future. Move on to the backstage area with Cameron Grimes. He was like, yeah, that's a hard and unfortunate injury you got there, like, buddy. But I wish I could be like you right now, and I could punch Theory hard like that, like in his face like that. And he was like, yeah, agree. Like, he's like, this is where what's her name, Kayla Braxton was like, and like next week you're gonna set your eyes on your match against Carmelo Hayes next week, which both of y'all beat the team of A-Town, both members of A-Town Down Under, respectively. And he's like this is the guy you never wrestled before. It's how you can prepare for. He was like how you prepare on such an opponent like him. This is where Kevin Owens is like, yeah, that's a good question. Like, I like Carmelo Hayes, and I think I faced him almost 10 years. Like, he was like, I think I met Carmelo Hayes before at one point, like when I went face to face on John Cena, like almost a decade ago. Like I've been I don't know. I have not much to say about John Cena. Like, even though he's a legend and he's a great performer in his own rights. Like, but Carmelo Hayes we're talking about here. He's very talented. He's really great. He's right next to me right now. Like, Richie noticed him right there. He was like, and he's like, "What's up, Kev? Like, how you doing?" Like, and this is where Carmelo Hayes let him know. It's like just to let you know, I have so much respect for you, man. Like, so there's nothing personal. Like when we fight next week, like we're gonna do this just friendly competition for the United States. Like you won it all, like in WWE for your past decade of being here in the company. But in this tournament, like I need this win way more than you do to prove my point. He's like, I'm not like Waller, and I'm neither like Theory. Sure as hell not. But like, you're not gonna punch me in the face, and you're not gonna knock me out, and you're not gonna beat me. Like, I'm just gonna let you know that. Like, no beef. Like, I'm just saying. Like you're not gonna do none of that when we face in the ring. well, what's up? And he's like, hey, Kayla, like, what the will, bro? Like, something like what I said about punching him in the face. Like, I don't need to punch him in the face just to win. Like, I just need the stunt gun. Like, which that's the truth because that's the first time he won with a knockout punch, like ever in his WWE career, at least. Like for me, watching Kevin Owens for the past 8 years, I never saw him hit such a knockout punch for the victory. But this is where we got a vignette with Tropicana Bailey next, like with the rest of the Damage Control crew, like with her saying like we're unstoppable, like no one can defeat us. Just look what we did to Charlotte Flair last week. He's like, and Michael, I knew. Yeah, like, and Michael, like I believe that Io was special since day one when she won the Money in the Bank briefcase. And she become your new and current WWE, now current WWE Women's Champion. Like when she defeated Bianca Belair, Io Scott's like it's Io's era now. And he's like it's the most I'm the most powerful and dangerous champion in WWE. And he's like and nobody's gonna stop me. And then Asuka was like speaking strong Japanese, while Io Scott just said it in English, but in a Japanese accent. She was like, but Asuka was like, let that be a warning to anyone who steps to us. I was like, hopefully you're not talking about me for making that comment, that joke. It is just a joke, and tell your self-proclaimed fans and on Instagram, those marks that criticize me for saying that you're not that beautiful, which I'm not saying that like that by look shaming you. And if you're watching this, Oscar, please like accept my apologies. Like I was just making a little joke, like for the fact that you're a heel, not because of your reality self, like because you're not ugly at all. Like you're like one of the women on my list that you're not ugly. Well, I would say my list. I'll say in a wrestling list of the most beautiful women, which I don't think you're beautiful in that way. I'm not attracted to you like that, but I'm saying like there's nothing ugly about you. Like only thing like I'll say you're not I'm saying you're funny. Like I'm saying like that it's supposed to be funny. Like saying like you're like with that post with Bugs Bunny, like with you like with him showing that picture with Bugs Bunny showing that picture to that baseball player that's trying to attack him, but he's start going crazy and like a monkey, like of attraction of the Empress. I was like, maybe he's into Japanese women, like which who wouldn't be into them? Which I'm not saying that I'm attracted to her. I'm saying like for his case, which I wouldn't yeah, I wouldn't dare like insult her like that. Like otherwise, I'll just been basic and specific of saying she's ugly. But I didn't say that. I didn't say she was ugly. I was just being funny, like saying like you're like I never thought that you would be that beautiful. Like I don't think you're that beautiful. LOL. Like which that's supposed to be funny. Like which we cannot be on social media having a fun and do anything fun without anybody criticizing somebody. Like it's just stupid. It's very negative. That's one thing I agree with Corey Graves on. But anyways, this is where Oscar was like, nobody's ready for Damage Control, alongside with Kyrie Sane saying the lines after she said her message. This is where Dakota Kai steps in with them, saying like, and now it's all five of us like to raise the bar, to change the game. And then this is where Baby's like, smoking like a true mastermind, which is my left hand woman of the group, Dakota Kai, because now at the time for Damage Control, I'll have all the gold, and it's going to start off with the most dangerous tag team in all of WWE, the Kabuki Warriors in the division. And they're going to go after winning the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, and me like winning the WWE Royal Rumble next year and going after Rhea Ripley and becoming the new Women's World Championship. I was like, what? You're trying to be the new golden role models? Like, I don't think you can replace you with you teaming with the teaming with the former legit boss, like a certain legit boss I cannot mention right at the moment. Well, I could mention her right now, but it's been and it's also been speculated that she's not she haven't signed a she's not going to be planning to sign a contract with AEW anytime soon. Well, at least at this time, because it's been reports in certain wrestling news videos that she turned down an offer, turned down an offer of AEW, which that's only just rumors, like not like news, like breaking news, but like otherwise she would announce it like from any of her social platforms, but yeah, but we're just gonna. But that's just the story for another day. But yeah, I'll just let you know that. But that could be that could be a reason. Like that could be any reason. Like she could be staying in New Japan and or even join Impact with Trinity. But that doesn't entirely mean that. Samson, what are you doing? Like, why are you so excited? Come on. But yeah, what y'all thoughts of? What y'all's thoughts on the Damage Control being ready of being a more powerful female dominant faction in WWE? Let me know down in the comments below. Which I don't think they're gonna be that dominant. I think even if the Kabuki Warriors win the women's tag team, it'll be for the sake of teaming with Io Sky and not with Bayley, because they're gonna kick her out at some point. Like it'll probably be either at the end of this month of December 2023, at the end, and also the end of the year, or it's going to be the beginning of the upcoming year in 2024, like in January, like when Bayley do one more thing to mess up, which I think will be January, with her teasing that she's going to be the Royal Rumble winner and she's going to add the Women's World Championship. But I think at the post-show SmackDown, that's when she's going to be kicked out of the group. But yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen next about that. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about that in the comments down below. Let's move on to the Kabuki Warriors. Kairi Sane and Asuka taking on Michi and Mia Yim and Zelina Vega, which they attacked them from behind, something that you rarely would see from a babyface dude. Well, they weren't finished with them yet, so they started beating down the Empress and the Pirate Princess. This is where they start brawling a little bit until they fought in the match. This is where it started off with Asuka and Michi and Mia Yim. This is where she tagged, but this is where they start fighting it out until she tagged in Kairi Sane, placed Michi right into the bottom turnbuckle, I believe, the bottom turnbuckle of the left corner side, I believe. And this is where Kairi Sane hits her signature running strike forearm like she does, and she goes right up on the top rope onto the ropes, onto the corner rope, into the apron. This is where she hits a thunderous striking forearm right to the face of Michi and Mia Yim. This is where she tried to go for a pin, but Michi kicks out at 2.1, I should say. This is where Kairi Sane picks up Michin, but she try to hit hooks, like right hooks right to the midsection of Kairi. But Kairi didn't even care what kind of punches she had for her. This is where she just easily tagged in Asuka. It looks like if their lifeless zombies, like lifeless female zombies that don't care that are getting hit, they just trying to get to the point, trying to eat their victims alive. But this is where Asuka grabs onto Michin's hair, like along with Kairi Sane. This is where they hit a double hip toss right onto the former reckoning of Retribution. This is where Asuka went right in front of Michin, run right through the left corner ropes, hit the striking kick, right foot kick right to the head, and Kairi Sane with a right forearm right to the back. This is where Asuka went for a pin onto Michin, but this is where Michin kicks out at 2.9. This is where Asuka thinking what other move that they're to do onto Michin. This is where by grabbing onto doing a single chicken wing, like looking like she was about to do the Asuka lock, but luckily Michin was hitting elbows right to the midsection of the onto the Empress of Tomorrow. This is where she slammed her back first right onto. Chicken? Are you a chicken? Bok, 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 bok. Cluck, cluck, cluck. But speaking of chicken, she tried to go for the single chicken wing, tried to go for an Oscar lock, but this is where Michin hit the elbow, but she hits Michin back first. This is where Oscar was like this is where referee was like, you better not do nothing sneaky. He's like, what? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't have nothing sneaky on me. Like, I don't even have mist in my mouth. Like, this is where she tried to go for a pin. This is where try to go for again, but Michin kicks out. This is where This is where Oscar does another snapmare. This is where Oscar hits a swinging forward roundhouse sliding kick. This is where Michin ducks out of the way. This is where Michin goes for a roll up. I try to go for a cover, but this is where Oscar kicks out. This is where I try to go for a flying clothesline right onto Michin, but Michin kicks out. Oscar trying to brainstorm any more ideas. And this is where she tags in Kairi Sane. That's where Kairi Sane tried to go for one move, trying to grab onto Michin's legs. But this is where she kicks it right onto her face. This is where she tags in Zelina Vega. This is where Zelina Vega starts hitting her clotheslines like repeatedly right onto Kairi Sane in a ring in a arm drag, I should say. This is where she placed her right onto the top right corner. This is where she hits a kick. A right-footed strike kick right into the face of Kairi Sane. Flip her over into a snapmare. This is where she tried to go for a run through the ropes. This is where she hits a knee strike right onto the face of Kairi Sane. This is where Zelina Vega picks up Kairi Sane. This is where she tried to go for a right swinging fist. This is where Zelina Vega ducks out of the way. This is where she grabs onto her arm, twisted it back, put it in the back into a hammerlock position. This is where she hit the hammerlock DDT like her former client that's now on AEW that has a new female wrestler manager, I should say. New female wrestler / manager, a companion, I should say, like, which I understand why he chooses other wrestlers as wife, like just to have a female manager. If he already have a women's wrestler of his own, which she's on SmackDown. Unfortunately, she has a knee injury, I should say. This is where Zelina Vega's like, come on, everybody, like, let's do this. This is where Zelina Vega's like, yeah, you right here in the middle. Like, this is where Zelina Vega goes for a 619 right onto Kairi Sane. This is where Kairi Sane hits a back fist after by flipping back like into a backflip, like getting back up. And I was saying, but this is where Kairi Sane would get ready to hit a striking forearm. This is where he hits a tag right onto Asuka. Like, looked like she was about to hit her striking forearm right onto Zelina Vega. This is where Asuka started hitting the Asuka lock on poor Zelina Vega, which Zelina Vega had no choice. She had nowhere else to go. I think she just she was trying to escape, but it looked like she was not. Like, she was trying to roll out of it, which she finally did. Luckily, she didn't tap because she hit a roll-up, which was kind of like the most devastating move in all sports entertainment. The referee counted the one, but Asuka instantly kicked out. That's where she tried to go for a second time. The 1, 2 even this time. This is where she tried to go for a forward roundhouse kick right to the head, trying to take out the head of Zelina, but she rolled right out of the way. Tags in Michin. This is where Michin try to go for a big boot, but this is where she ducked out of the way. This is where Asuka tried to go for a back fist, but she dodged out of the way. This is where she hit the boot right to the face. This is where Asuka tried to go for a spinning roundhouse kick. This is where Michin Mia Yim hits a headbutt. This is where she goes for a belly-to-belly hammerlock driver, I should say. This is where she tried to go for a pin. Looked like she had her there. If it had been for Kairi Sane for coming for the save. This is where Zelina Vega tried to Irish whip Kairi Sane out of the ring. This is where he ducks right off the this is where she ducks right off the yeah, I can do it. Yeah, yes, ma'am. This is where she hits a sliding kick right into the head of Kairi Sane, I believe. This is where Kairi Sane hits a back fist onto Zelina Vega once again. This is where she hits her with an Alabama slam right back first, right onto the top part of on the announce table. She was like, "Haha, take care of the trash." But this is where Mi Chin hits a big boot right in her face. This is where Asuka turned around. What's her name? Mi Chin Mia Yim turned around. This is where she tried to go for her twist that arm, try to put her foot right into Asuka's face and pin her face down and hit right down to the right onto her foot and hit her jaw. This is where Asuka tried to go. Asuka dodges her foot. This is where she tried to go for a back fist. Mi Chin ducks, hits a Pele against the Giri, something that she might have learned from AJ Styles. This is where Mi Chin went right onto the top rope, like off the upper left corner, I believe. This is where Dakota Kai tried to go for the distraction, like of course she would do, because that's what she's good for, other than trying to get physical, because her leg's not in good shape, not until at least January or February of this coming year, which she'll probably be ready when she's in a four-woman situation, of course. This is where she distracted. This is where the referee's like, get off the top rope. This is where Bayley push Mi Chin off the top. Of course she would do. And I believe Damage Control's kind of not minding Bayley helping, as long as she's helping them out by proving a point by winning their matches. I guess at least for now, of course, like she's off the hook, like at least for now, and she can get involved, but she's still in the doghouse, like in the backstage in the locker room. She needs to stay in the locker room if she's not in the match, because for the fact that she's still kind of on punishment for being the one that take the pinfall from Becky Lynch back at War Games. And I guess if rumors are true, we could see a women tag match at the Showcase of the Immortals. Like, well, it's only my rumors that are thinking if speculations are true about if there's going to be a certain return. Like if Dakota Kai's clear to compete, and then she can team with compete with the Damage Control with their version of Damage Control, which I don't think they should use the name. Maybe they should have a different name of their group if Bayley's not going to be part of it, because she's in fact the reason why there's Damage Control in the first place from a year and a half ago. But anyways, yeah, if rumors are true, we could see a 8-women tag match, which I can't name the names right now. But if rumors are true about seeing a certain return of a particular individual, expect them to be teaming with their former teammate and their real life best friend. But that's all I could say. But I think then again, they could stay in NJPW or go to TNA with their other best friend, their wrestling best friend, I should say, or sister, I should say. Let me rephrase that. But what's y'all's thoughts about that? Y'all let me know in the comments. And do you think Damage Control is going to be a dominant faction of winning all the gold in the main roster with the Women's Tag Team Championships, the WWE Women's Championship, and the Women's World Heavyweight Championship? But anyway, this is where we're gonna finish this match. I finished off with recapping this match with Asuka hits a spinning roundhouse kick right to the head of Mi Chin. This is where Kairi Sane hits an insane elbow to score the 1-2-3. And then they've been more dominant than ever, like with them winning this match. And what did you thought about this match? Do you think it was really good? I think it was really interesting and really good. Like shows like what could be next for the women's tag division with Asuka and Kairi Sane trying to capture back the titles that they lost 3.5 years ago. Well, soon to be 4, like this April in 2024. But anyway, what's your thoughts about? Well, yeah, what's your thoughts on Damage Control? Do you think they're capable of winning all the gold? or is this just the exaggeration from Bayley of beating Rhea Ripley? I'll say, even if she did have an opportunity against Ripley, I would give Ripley credit when it's due. I think she would destroy Bayley in the ring when it comes to comparison. So I don't think Bayley's going to win, even though she was the original championship's longest reigning champion. Well, while Rhea Ripley about to beat that record, like of beating of winning and becoming that championship for a whole year, like Bayley was with the SmackDown Women's Championship. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments down below, like what's gonna happen. I think she's gonna get kicked out after the post show SmackDown after the Royal Rumble. And if rumors are true, we could see a certain individual back, and we could see a four certain like a four like and we see two other women, like one of them being on Raw, which I'm not sure if that will happen because for the fact one of the women that's going to team with Bayley, that's my theory, could face Damage Control. Plus, we need somebody to fight for the women's championship, which we could see Bayley could face Io Sky, and maybe even Dakota Kai can get involved, making a three-way match. So I don't think it's just a prediction rather than a spoiler or any kind of plans. I didn't say anything about being plans, but yeah, we're gonna have to stay tuned until see what happens next in the foreseeable future for 2024 in WWE. But yeah, let me know what y'all's plans are in the comments down below. And also the other one that's already on SmackDown, I think she won't even wrestle team with Bayley because her leg injury, and even not her leg injury, we could see her in a some kind of a non-title feud with a wrestler on SmackDown. Whether if it being like a Bianca Belair or Shotzi perhaps, or even Jade Cargill herself, if she decides to be on SmackDown, if they start having any plans for her in WWE. But yeah, we're gonna move on. What's next? Which is the WWE, which is the main event of Friday Night SmackDown of the evening. The Apex Predator, the Viper, taking on main event Jim Uso. This is where Santos Escobar is like, I'm gonna finally get my opportunity, and no Rey Mysterio is not gonna take it from me. I was like, well, first of all, Rey Mysterio was only just doing you a favor. Otherwise, like for you beating them in the finals in the tournament, last time they had a tournament, the United States Championship, number one contenders match, like you were the victor due to a no contest because Rey Mysterio was not eligible enough to compete because he was unconscious or got concussed, I should say, during the match. But anyways, yeah. He was like, no deadbeats are in my way, and I'm gonna beat Bobby Lashley. It doesn't matter. He has his boys Montez and Angelo Dawkins. I'm gonna win the whole thing, beat Logan Paul, and be the real and true United States champion, like more than my ally Rey Mysterio ever been. And this is where Bobby Lashley and Street Profits laugh like you see that vignette out there. And it is where Montez Ford, he must be delusional. Like, do you think he's gonna go past the almighty Bobby Lashley? That just ain't no business in here. And this is where Angelo Dawkins is like, you need to step up and get stomped out of here, because the way it's gonna come into a rival. And this is where Bobby's like I get Santos, and this is Bobby Lashley took off his gun to sit you're standing in my way in this semifinals tournament. And you know what I'm gonna actually do. And this is where he stared in a monkey-looking face onto the camera, sending Santos a message, because there's no way that Santos Escobar, whether if Rey Mysterio distracts Santos or not, I think Bobby Lashley has this all planned of winning in the guaranteed manner. Which he did that, he showed that before when he faced Karrion Kross. Oh, I forgot my glasses. Thank you, Birdie Bird. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, I totally forgot about my glasses. Yeah, perhaps I need to use them while I'm reading the article on the wrestling news. But anyways, let's move on to the talk about what's going to be next week, like which is Santos Escobar versus Bobby Lashley, and Kevin Owens against Carmelo Hayes, like in the semifinals. Who's going to face who? Which I believe is going to be Kevin Owens taking on Bobby Lashley, like something I partially predicted. This is where we also have Dragon Lee next week taking on Butch in a North American Open Challenge match, like for the NXT North American Championship on the line, which that looks very interesting. Make sure y'all stay tuned to watch next week's SmackDown because it's still the entertainment continues into Friday Night SmackDown with nostalgia and quality matches that are very interesting and too good to miss, like with the North American Championship and